Hello, this is Farrell Yoakum with Discipline That Reaches and Teaches, and I've been away for a few days. It's some out-of-town obligations, but I wanted to present a little video kind of getting back to the idea of leadership qualities in teachers. And one of them that we've discussed and mentioned as one of the 5 C's was courage. And a book that I was given some years ago by a good friend is Parker Palmer's The Courage to Teach. And so it's kind of an interesting title. Does it take courage to teach? I think those of us who've been teaching for a while would probably say yes, especially to start with. And as I've worked with teachers this year, and especially thinking about how the questions and how the younger teachers, the rookie teachers, the second, third year teachers struggle sometimes with wondering about how their year's going to go. That sometimes there's a lot of anxiety about how the year is going to go in regard to the way that children will be behaving in their classroom. And even a little bit of fear about how that's going to be handled, how it's going to work. And if you've been a teacher very long and you've struggled with some things that have occurred in your classroom, maybe not handle them well, there's always going to be something or some things that happen in your teaching career that you're going to realize you didn't handle as well as you should have. Because things that happen in the way of discipline in the classroom where students don't behave and need to be held accountable, just most of the time they're just boom, they're there. It's hard to know that they're coming. We should always anticipate, as part of my training, is always anticipate that there will be some misbehaviors that will go on in your classroom. But the main thing I just wanted to mention today in the aspect of courage is that many times being able to be courageous includes the whole idea of what you believe. Are you committed to running an effective, safe, holding students accountable kind of a classroom? Truly, are you committed to that? Teaching, as we have discussed several times, is a lot more than just the content that you're giving to students. It's a lot of times has a lot to do with your interactions with them. And I think that's what may cause some fear, is because when people are interacting, then sometimes it's unpredictable what might be said or what might be done. And as the courageous leader in your classroom, you've got to make sure you're in control of yourself. You've got to make sure that you are always calm. Don't allow anything to get you upset in front of your children. Inside there might be turmoil, but they're looking to you to be that calm, cool, confident professional that knows what to do when Joey acts up, or Maria, or whoever your students are in your classroom. They're looking to you. And so what do you believe about that? Do you believe you have an important role to play in students' maturity, in them growing up to become wise people, to become understanding, discerning, capable citizens of this country? That's what we should desire, and that's what you were hired to do, is to bring your children from where they are to where they're going to be, and that they will grow, and that they will improve, and that they will improve in their learning and their ability, and that they will also improve in life skills as they move towards someday being independent. That's becoming more and more difficult these days, but there's a lot more obstacles to overcome. This book of Parker Palmer was written, I think, in the 50s, and there's a lot more behavioral diversity now than there was then. Children are different, and we read about it all the time. I know just a few weeks ago, right after school started, there was a story about an administrator in Texas who had an encounter with a student, and it got physical, and the teacher actually lost an eye. They're blind now in one of their eyes for the rest of their life as a result of that. So children are becoming, not just children, but society in many ways is becoming more aggressive, and you may have to deal with some of that in your classroom. And so how do you deal with it effectively? I think so much of it has to do with the rapport that you're developing with your children. Would you have courage to let them know where you stand and where you believe they should be? That's part of your job, is to help them to be transformed in their thinking, to be renewed in some of the stinking thinking they might have to proper thinking that they might have, making good decisions. That's a discipline. You're providing safety, order, and discipline in the classroom. And discipline isn't about punishment and consequences. It's about becoming a more disciplined person. We've talked about that before. So I just want to encourage you today to remember that you're not alone if you are anxious sometimes in your classroom or worried about what might happen. You're not alone if sometimes you've messed up and haven't done it the right way. Always be willing to ask for forgiveness, and I did something wrong and I regret that, and to regather. Don't be afraid to revisit some of your requirements in the classroom, some of the way that you leave the classroom, lining up, all these different things, because most of the misbehaviors don't happen during instruction. Those are some of the worst ones, but most of them happen when they are getting ready to move from classroom to classroom, between classes, at lunch, before school, after school. But you still have a job during all those times to be that effective person, that as you see children who aren't behaving the way that they should be, that you have the courage to let them know that you saw them and that there is everything that we do in life, there are consequences for them, good or bad. So I hope that you will continue to do the great work of being a fantastic teacher. And this is Farrell Yoakum, Discipline That Reaches and Teacher, signing off for now. See you soon.